You've always been the reliable one, haven't you? The one who soaks up the stress in the room, fields the midnight crisis calls, and manages everyone else's feelings. You carry it all with a quiet strength that people have come to expect. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what happens when I just stop the moment you become unavailable? Not because you're being mean, but out of sheer necessity. Your world starts to shift. It's not a big, loud explosion. It's more like a quiet earthquake that reveals a shocking truth. The difference between the people who value you and those who just value what you do for them. Today, we're going to talk about the 5 ways people change the second you stop being the ever-dependable one, and what it teaches you about your relationships. So, how did we even get here? Let's be real. Nobody hands you a contract that says, your new job is to be the emotional manager for everyone you know. It's a role you just kind of slip into. Often, it's because you're empathetic, you're capable, and you can't stand seeing people in pain. You learn to read a room, anticipate needs, and be the calm in someone else's storm. But here's the tough truth. When your support, time, and energy are always available, they start to be seen as less valuable. It's not that people are consciously thinking this, it's just how human dynamics work. You accidentally teach people that your well of emotional support is infinite, and that they can draw from it any time without putting anything back. This people-pleasing isn't just a quirky personality trait. For many of us, it's a survival skill we picked up in childhood or from past trauma. You learned early on that keeping everyone happy was the safest way to get by. The only problem is it's not sustainable. It's a direct path to burnout, resentment, and feeling like you've lost yourself. You just give and give until one day you look down and realize you are running on empty. And it's right there, in that moment when you finally decide to turn off the tap, that the real revelations begin. 5 ways people react when you pull back. Okay, so you've done it. You're letting the phone ring. You're saying no to things that drain you. You're finally holding space for your own feelings instead of just everyone else's. Here are the 5 surprising ways people are about to react. Number 1, the anxious pursuit. The first and most confusing reaction you'll see is from people who felt entitled to your energy. When you cut off the constant supply, they don't stop and think, I wonder if they're okay. No, they panic. This is the anxious pursuer. Suddenly the calls become more frequent and the texts more urgent. The emergencies that only you can solve seem to multiply overnight. This isn't about you. It's about them going through withdrawal. In psychology, this is part of a toxic pursue-withdraw cycle. Your pulling back triggers their fear of loss. Not the loss of you, but the loss of the role you played. They don't ask, how are you? They demand, where have you been? They will try every trick in the book, guilt, manufactured crises, you name it, to pull you back into your old job. This frantic chase is the clearest sign that the relationship was a one-way street. Number 2, the transaction is over. Just as revealing as the people who escalate are the ones who simply disappear. These are the people who were in your life for one simple reason, your utility. The friend who only called to vent. The family member who only showed up needing a favor. The co-worker who saw you as a convenient resource, who want to actually connect with you. Number 3, they paint you as the villain, the manipulation flip. This one might be the most painful. The moment you set a healthy, normal boundary, the very person who benefited from you having none will often twist the story. Your act of self-preservation is suddenly reframed as an act of aggression. All of a sudden, you're the selfish one. You're the one who's cold, difficult, and uncaring. This is a classic manipulation tactic. They'll get angry or try to blame you, hoping the guilt will make you go back to how you were. They might hit you with lines like, "You've changed," or "I can't believe how selfish you're being." It is so important to see this for what it is. Their reaction is not a reflection of your character. It's a reflection of theirs. Their anger just shows how much they were invested in you staying compliant, not in you being healthy. Someone who genuinely cares might be surprised at first, but they will adapt and respect your new boundaries. Someone who only cares about what you provide will call your boundaries an attack. if that last point really hit home. If you've ever been made to feel guilty for taking care of yourself, please know you are not alone. It's an isolating feeling. Share your experience in the comments. Just reading through other people's stories can be a powerful reminder that setting a boundary isn't selfish. It's one of the bravest things you can do. Number 4, the unexpected shift. Now for some good news. Oddly enough, the moment you stop being endlessly available, some people will start valuing you more. It's a funny thing. We tend to value what's scarce. When you stop giving away your time and energy like free samples and start treating them like the valuable resources they are, people notice. They see you respecting yourself, and it literally teaches them how to treat you. Your self-respect signals strength, and that naturally commands respect from others. These are the people who might have taken you for granted, not out of malice, but just because it was easy. When you change the dance steps, they learn the new dance. They start asking what you need instead of just telling you what they want. You didn't manipulate them. You just showed them your true worth, and they adjusted. Number 5, they try to genuinely reconnect, the keepers. And finally, we have the most precious group, the genuine few. These are the people who truly cared about you all along. But maybe they also got a little too comfortable in the easy dynamic you created. When you pull back, they don't feel the loss of your services. They feel the loss of your connection. Their response is completely different from the anxious pursuer. They don't demand, they inquire. They don't guilt you, they show concern. They're the ones who send a text that says, "Hey, haven't heard from you in a bit, just checking in to see if everything's okay." The reconnection might be a little awkward at first. They might not be sure how to act now that the relationship requires effort from their side too, but they're willing to learn. These are the relationships that can be rebuilt into something healthier and more real. Their clumsy but sincere effort is proof that the bond was real. These are your people. Making this change can feel terrifying. You worry about being seen as mean or difficult. This is where a little ancient wisdom can help. The Stoics taught that we should focus only on what we can control. You can control your actions and your boundaries. You cannot, and should not try to, control how other people react to them. When you pull back, you aren't rejecting people. You're just making your outside world match what you know is right on the inside. It is not your job to manage their feelings about your boundaries. Their reaction is simply information. It's data that reveals the true nature of their connection to you. A Stoic mindset lets you observe their anger or disappointment without feeling like you have to rush in and fix it. This isn't about becoming cold, it's about rational self-preservation. It's about finally understanding that your well-being is your responsibility and yours alone. Once you've made this shift and people have seen this new, self-respecting version of you, the game is changed forever. Even if you become more available later on, they will never forget that you can and will be okay without their approval. You can't unring that bell. They now understand that your emotional stability doesn't depend on them. And this is an irreversible wake-up call. Those old guilt trips that used to work, they lose their power because you've shown you're immune. The one-sided relationships dissolve because there's no transaction left to be made. But most importantly, the authentic connections that survive will become so much deeper, now built on mutual respect. The permanent nature of this change is its greatest strength. It forces people to either change how they relate to you or leave. And honestly, either way you win. Becoming emotionally unavailable after a lifetime of being everyone's rock is a quiet revolution. It's a profound act of taking yourself back. It will rearrange your social world, and yes, you will lose some people. It will probably hurt. But the people and the relationships that are left will finally be real. You'll have created a life where your energy is respected, your needs are honored, and your connections are genuine. It's a tough journey, but it's the only path to real self-worth and relationships that truly fill you up instead of drain you dry. If this message resonated with you, please consider liking and subscribing, and maybe share it with one person you know who needs to hear this. You never know who you might be helping to take that first brave step. Thank you for watching.